on the forward pass. Not probably, when he looks back on it, one of the best he's ever given this season. It gifted possession to Rovers, and fair play to them, they took full advantage of it. Bosch gets us underway for the second half. They say if you score a goal right on the stroke of half-time in soccer, Phil, it's wonderful psychological news for your team. What about if you score a try right on the bell as well?
I've no doubt it will have helped Hull Kingston Rovers, who again are a rather young and inexperienced side. If you look at the back line, probably only 2 of the 7 would be the first choice picks from Justin Morgan. And when you're in that situation, you need a little bit of luck, and you probably need to be in front at half-time. In their last Super League game, they lost the second half 28 points to 0. So what's important is not what happened just before half-time, but what they do now in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, one of Sean McRae's favourite sayings is the most irrelevant fact at half-time is the score, unless you're 30 or 40 points to the good, of course.
I think it'll be interesting if we see a change in the attitude, I think, from the Catalan Dragons. They didn't play with any real field position. In fact, Hull KR had twice as much ball in the Catalan half as vice versa, and that's probably the reason why they are just miserly in front.
Yunus Katabi, who must have thought that when he went over for the try 6 minutes from the break, that would probably be it for the half-time score, but Rovers had other ideas. And here is Carlo.
Just on that half-time, John, as a coach, coaching a side that's probably favoured to win this match, would you challenge your players?
I think the key is just focusing on the performance and how the guys have played in the first half, and so we're going around and give some individual tips. But what I have noticed the second half is that the Catalans seem a lot more direct when they're in yardage. You've seen 2 great carries from the big front rowers, just got them on the front foot and given them some field position.
It's Rovers in possession here, though, and it's Peter Fox. And, well, the tackle from Adam Mogg was around the neck. Fisher gets the ball wide. Stanley Jean bumps, barges away from all of them. He has still got away from Adam Mogg. Can't get away from the next 2 in, Maguire and Croker. Here's a Michele Azu. Good strong run from Azu, but not too much metres gained forward.
It's amazing when you look at the success of Stanley Jean and Michele Azu that we haven't had more Super League scouts in Papua New Guinea finding players.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, they're talking down under, aren't they, about Papua New Guinea maybe one of the places they can develop the game in the NRL. And they've got a real crisis on their hands down there, they feel, because players are walking out of contracts and going to French Rugby Union. Gaznier and Sonny Bill Williams. Here it's 34-0 to Wigan at the JJB Stadium, and they had a bit of a crisis on their hands, responding to some criticism that was reported in the press this week from their chairman Ian Lenigan after the defeat to the Huddersfield Giants. Here it's Alex Chan for the Catalan Dragons, 3 minutes into the second half. Looking for a penalty, none forthcoming from the referee. Maguire fires it wide to Croker. Wellham gets to him, and it's Adam Mogg again. Finds Wilson. Wilson with a kick downfield. Nasty bounce for Ben Cockayne. Chasers have arrived. Bosch is one of them. He lost the ball. He lost the ball. He was trying so desperately to get the ball over the whitewash and bring it back into the field of play from the in-goal area that he just lost the possession here under pressure.
And he's looking at the big screen. He almost wants a second opinion on this. He knows how difficult it's going to be for his side here to defend their own try line. It was amazing when you looked at Catalan in the first half. You know, they've forced more goal line dropouts from teams this year than anybody else. They really do work hard and have great accuracy in the kicks. Wilson does remarkably well. Look, stays in the field of play. Not only that, with 2 or 3 men pushing him out of play. It's a perfect kick in goal, which is what put Cockayne under so much pressure, and has now given his side, well, just a dream position to start this second half. Scrum down, 10 metres from their opponent's line. They kept the ball alive on the last play, bursted to Croker, and then kept flicking it around until eventually they got to the kick option. No problem with the pass there to Croker. Is it a late tackle from Stanley Jean?
Well, the referee has asked the video referee and everybody else to have a look at that incident with Stanley Jean, and I think I saw referee Ian Smith cross his hands above his head. Bosch, meanwhile, has lost the ball and the referee shouts play on, so I believe that incident with Stanley Jean is on report.
Well, his side needs some luck, and they've survived an error on player one from the Dragons, so uncharacteristic of the season.
I wonder if they're believing their own publicity.
Well, every now and again teams have an off day, they play poorly. Now then, was that forward pass from Dobson to Jean? He's driven backwards, but again, look, he bounces out of the tackle, he's off again!
Unbelievable, he really is. Tackled by Maguire, who's all over him. Trying to delay the play of the ball. Stanley stands up and has a little word in his ear.
10 metres.
He's one of the characters of the Super League, is Stanley Jean, there's no doubt about that. Dobson, oh, now they've come up with it. Oh, and there's another mistake, and that's going to be play on. Well, Catalan had the possession back for Catalan Dragons and surrendered it with a wild pass on his inside. Here's Dobson.
Too early, mate. Too early.
Fisher waits dummy half for Rovers. Ball inside to Galea. Good break on here. Oh, great support from Fisher. And Fisher goes over underneath the sticks. 2 tries in 5.5 minutes either side of half-time for Kingston Rovers. The break from Jason Netherton and the support from Ben Fisher and Justin Morgan. Well, he's cool and calm in his coaching box here, but that was a great try from Fisher, and underneath the sticks as well. Yeah, thumbs up from Fisher. That's his 3rd try of the season. A Scottish international, Ben Fisher. He will be on his way to the World Cup in Australia as well.
Well, the Dragons will believe that they should have been celebrating a try at the other end of the field. As it is, one handling error followed by a second have given the Rovers the opportunity with the ball in hand, and boy, how they've exploited it. Look at that, Bengalia goes at the line, it's a misreading defence by Muniz, and Jason Netherton does remarkably well, commits the fullback and just hopes that there'll be some support on the inside. It came in the shape of Ben Fisher. Just scored before half-time and now gone and scored straight after it.
And Dobson, bang in front of those sticks. He doesn't miss those. 3 from 3 for him. 18-10 for Rovers.
We're just second-guessing what Mick Potter said to his players at half-time. We're guessing that he's talked about the attitude, and I don't think it's changed. They're still not prepared to do the rough stuff. They're still throwing passes on offloads to players that aren't in better positions, and that won't serve them well at all.
I think with that mindset as well, Barry, I think that, you know, once you're into a game and you have a mindset to promote and offload the ball, then it becomes very difficult to get out of that attitude and that mindset also.
Here's the man who created the try. Jason Netherton plays the ball. Azu will hammer it forward again. Let's go down to Bill News of Chris Chester as Hull KR get another penalty. Bill?
Chris Chester on his way to hospital, and the word is that is a blow to the neck. He's got tingling sensations on the left-hand side on his left arm, but he has got full body movement, and they're hoping it's purely going to be a precautionary x-ray. But Chris Chester has had more than his fair share of bumps and bangs in his career, and he'll be hoping that he comes through this one okay. Just while you're down here, it'll be interesting to see the next time Stanley Jean and Casey Maguire go head-to-head. Could be any second, because they have got a little spat going on at the moment, exchanging verbal pleasantries when the ball's miles away.
Well, let's keep an eye on that. This is Dobson, and here is Galea. There's movement all over the park at the moment for Rovers. Their tails are up. Those 2 tries either side of half-time have invigorated their challenge here. And Dobson finds Netherton once again. Tackle low by Jason Croker. Fisher, Dobson. Dobson stabs the ball down the line, looking for Peter Fox, but Fox is quick. He isn't that quick, but it was a touch of invention from the little scrum half.
Well, they have to run with this emotion and this enthusiasm at the moment, Rovers. Underdogs in this game. The tails are up, the crowd are up and behind them, and they have their opponents rattled.
I think the consensus as well, Phil. I think they're playing with plenty of confidence, and they are promoting the ball, and they are offloading the ball, and the energy levels look great at the moment. They're pushing and supporting for each other. But the Catalans are a smart team as well, mentally tough. They know they're not quite at the races today, but you know they're very difficult to break down, and they have had a lot of late wins as well.
Yes, they have, and the Rovers supporters will know that Their team came back from 14-6 down in Perpignan to beat the Catalan Dragons in February. Stanley Jean's try in the closing moments, giving them the victory. So Rovers won't be celebrating yet, but if Remy Casti drops any more balls like that, they might be.
It's the unforced errors that are killing them. You don't mind losing the ball in tough exchanges and challenges, as you see Mog getting to grips with Stanley Jean. They know that Stanley Jean's the danger man for this Hull KR side.
You have to ask, when you see tackles like that, what has happened to the grapple tackle business? Has it all been wiped out of the referee's mind?
The touch judges didn't help him either, did they? There was no indication from them. All of the pressure now on Michael Dobson, though. He's the voice and the decision maker for Rovers. The ball goes to him on most occasions.
That's reached Lovegrove underneath all that lot. It's Dobson again. Yes, you're right, he's at the heart of it. It's a great kick too, and it might just bounce for them here. That's a try, I think, for Dobson, isn't it? Or did he get a foot to it? Is that a try? Well, there's about 5 different things here to be checked out by the video referee, Richard Silverwood. Did Dobson get the ball down? Were there any offside, onside decisions needing to be made?
Well, all the players are onside. They're clearly behind the white line, which is a great indicator. But I think Adam Mogg attempts to do what Katabi and Ragan did earlier. They overcomplicate it here. It's the safe option. Instead, he tries to pat it into the arms of Greenshields. It goes away from him. And then Wilson covers round the back here, trying to kick the ball free. Now then, that's not a clear try.
It's a knock-on.
That's a knock-on. And it's massive relief here for the Dragons if this is disallowed. See it play on here, but there's no need to.
No, it was a knock-on in the in-goal area. So it's bound to be no try, and it's a 28-metre restart. But they were so close. And of course, Dobson, the man who put the kick in as well. And he really is the heartbeat of the team. Him and Stanley Jean, they've shown up well tonight.
Do you know what? The error count, though, from the Dragons is just too high to give them a chance of winning. They're going forward here. They've tried to adopt a more simple approach to the second half, but they aren't able to complete the sets and get to a kick and make Rovers have to go 80-90 metres before they can put any pressure on.
Half an hour for Catalan Dragons to rescue themselves from their second successive defeat, and that hasn't happened to them since March, when they went on that horror run of losing the opening 4 games of the season. So 2 defeats in a row for Catalan Dragons as we approach playoff time. Not the best. It's Fisher, the dummy half for Rovers.
And this is where the success is coming from for Rovers, by actually playing with a bit of width out of dummy half, people pushing for one another, quick play of the balls, people landing on the front, everyone pushing.
It's Gareth Crossman for Rovers, battling his way over the halfway line on the 4th tackle. Fisher waits again. Here's Dobson. Gives it to Netherton. Ball on the inside. And that is Chris Wellham. No, it wasn't. It was Ben Cockayne. That's a dab down the line, and the ball bouncing everywhere. Problems there for Thomas Bosk. Covered it well, though.
Well, there's almost half an hour left still in this game, but it's as if the Dragons are waiting for the final hooter. There doesn't seem the usual fight or commitment from them to get back into it. Mogg hasn't been as much involved. Here he is now carrying the ball forward. But there can be a danger that it becomes an individual job of trying to win the game. Players trying to do it on their own.
Senior players and your better players take it upon themselves to take control of a game. Give it me, I'll fire it up as quick as I can. And in his haste to play the ball, he loses control of it, Mogg. And when one of the pivotal players makes a mistake like that, you've got to credit Hull KR. They've defended so strong, good on impact, good on the wrestle on the floor, and they've really controlled the speed of the ruck.
You need to buy. Get your arms on. Hands on.
The Hull Kingston Rovers fans are shouting and chanting Wigan. Oh, Wellham! Wellham is on the break. It's a very good job that Alex Chan got hold of his shirt tails then. Gallier at dummy half. Gets the ball away. And this is Ianson. Stanley Jean directing the traffic at dummy half. It's Gallier. Gallier to Dobson. Dobson just flicks the ball back up.
10 metres.
Cockayne will get to his feet and play it to Fisher. Finds Gallier. Here's Stanley Jean again. Well, they cannot tackle him first up tonight, can they? Catalan Dragons, he's a real handful. Fisher. Dobson. Forward pass, says the referee. The point I was making about the Hull Kingston Rovers fans chanting Wigan's name, if you think about it, they should really be hoping that the black and whites do them a favour tonight, because if Wigan failed this evening, well, it doesn't look likely now at 38 points to 6, it just might ease the pressure on Rovers for a place in the top 6. But maybe they prefer to miss the playoffs and see the black and whites lose.
Logic goes out of the window when it comes to the black and white and red and white rivalry, I think, in Hull. They can't see past tonight and the true results. They don't look at the league table. When you look at the Catalan side, they look flat. They almost look gone here in this game. It's a silly statement with 25 minutes to go. I've no doubt they will have a good phase, but they just look like a set of individuals who are ready for home.
Oh, that's a good hit by Netherton. Jason Netherton just lined him up. Bump. Good hands. Thomas. Bosk. And here they come. They've got support both ways. Bosk arcs forward. What an awful pass from Thomas Bosk. Here comes the counter. Here comes the counter from Rovers with Peter Fox. And Fox is quick. Great ankle tap. It needed to be as well from Olivier Elema. Dobson. Well, it's end-to-end stuff, isn't it?
10 metres.
Janssen. Just slow it down a little bit now as Dobson gives the ball inside again.
Well, Rovers look like the team who will score that next, don't they? Most likely here. Dangerous now, supporting the ball whenever possible.
Dobson cuts them open at the middle. Stepping out of the challenges, and Cockayne. Has he scored, or was that a double movement? Well, it's a big decision for Richard Silverwood. Ben Cockayne was on the end of the pass. There was a definite bounce, but did momentum take him over?
It's whether you see the arm promote the ball. I think probably, yeah, but what great skill from Dobson. Steps off his right foot.
Was he tackled before he promoted the ball forward?
You know, it's impossible to say, isn't it? He would have bounced forward anyway. It looks worse because the arm is lifted off the floor. I've no doubt with his final body position, he would have been over the line.
Well, here's the decision from Richard Silverwood. A try is given. Ben Cockayne. They're delighted. Catalan Dragons behind the post, shaking their heads, scratching their heads. But I think Richard Silverwood got that right. I don't believe he was tackled before the ball was propelled forward. I think the hands had dropped off him. And so Rovers have suddenly, either side of half-time, taken a complete stranglehold on this match.
Well, it came about because the Catalan Dragons have no respect here for possession tonight. They want to score the spectacular, miraculous tries. Look, Boss doesn't look, passes to the side, eventually it bounces up for Steele and the Rovers, and they're counter-attacked through Peter Fox. I thought at this point here it was going to be a sensational effort, but there were too many Dragons players coming across. Look at Olivier Elema and high-speed ankle taps and Chan over the top. But then shortly after that, it's Dobson's ability and willingness to take on the line, running hard, stepping in between two players. And a try from Ben Cockayne, who's had a sensational season. Dobson adds the extra 2 points, but just going back to the fullback, there are very few players who can play wing, centre and hooker all in the same Super League season, and Ben Cockayne has done that for Rovers this year and been pretty impressive on every single time.
John Sharp, can you put yourself in Mick Potter's shoes, and if you saw that try with the lift of the arm, would you believe that the video referee got it right or wrong?
I believe he got it wrong, actually. I thought he made a deliberate second movement. I certainly believe he had momentum, and if he could have kept his arm down, I think he'd have slid over anyway, but he did raise the arm, and he did make a second play. So I'm not quite sure it was the right decision, but we'll be reading it in the papers tomorrow, won't we?
Indeed we will. 24 points to 10. And Rovers suddenly have got their tails up. Well, Justin Morgan said he wants 4 wins from the last 5. And he's on the way here with the 24-10 scoreline. It's interesting to check what's to come. They've got Harlequins and Hull here, Warrington and Bradford away. I just wonder if the Bradford away game would be the decider for a place in the top 6. Get into your crystal ball mode, Phil. What do you think?
Well, I think short term, it's amazing that they've reignited the hopes of this year, because when they lost in the Challenge Cup to St Helens, it looked from that point onwards that the season was over. It took too much out of them that game, but they've recovered with a good home win against Wigan, and they now look as though this is their game to lose, actually, isn't it? They've a 14-point lead going towards the final quarter, and so much enthusiasm in all the players. Michael Vella, probably the best forward, back on the field now for the remainder of the game.
Play on.
Ball comes free to Jason Croker. Last tackle though for the Dragons here, and Mogg drills the ball all along the deck. It's picked up by Ben Cockayne. He got away from Mogg, but he couldn't get away from the next man in.
Well, they're just starving and frustrating the Dragons by continually just completing possession. Very few errors from Rovers, hardly any in their own half. And this is the big push here now from the Dragons. They're trying to force the ball free. They know they need possession, and they need it in this part of the field.
Well, if they are a serious contender for Old Trafford, a 14-point disadvantage with more than a quarter of the game to go is not beyond them. Dobson's gone for the 40-20 here. He's gone for the 40-20 here, and he's got it, has he? No, the touch judge keeps his flag down.
Well, he said that Greenshields has gathered the ball, leapt from the field of play, thrown it back in field, and has done so. That is remarkable.
How good was that? His feet were both in touch, threw the ball back. The presence of mind, and sometimes when you do that, a Hull KR player could have been chasing up. Great skill.
Well, if the Dragons go on to win this game, that was the turning point. Greenshields has given the lift. Can any of his teammates follow that lead?
Yeah, I'm with you there, Phil, as well. The team will be looking for some big plays from some of the top players to actually get them sparked and back into this game. Obviously, we'll see over the next 5 minutes if we're going to get a response from the Catalans.
High kick with no pressure on Ben Cockayne, and he fires the ball then into the arms of Peter Fox. And Peter Fox bounces away from Tuxagas.
Well, you know when a team are up for it, when the wingers want to get back on that very first play and link up with the fullback. Peter Fox there now, Wellham, they're all wanting the ball, and they all want to run hard and strong.
Yeah, and I think that's been the theme of the yardage all through the game from minute 1, Phil. We've seen Cockayne linking up and looking to pass to his wingman and push on next plays as well. They've been very aggressive with the ball.
This is Crossman, gets the ball in field to his prop forward colleague David Mills, and Mills trundles it forward with 3 on his back. It's an effervescent performance from Rovers this tonight.
It really is, and what a brilliant response.
Oh, great break here by Gallier, and it's Mick Vella, and Mick Vella's over for the try. Smiles on the faces of the Hull Kingston Rovers supporters. They waited and waited for their chance in Super League. Mick Vella was their player of the year last year as they secured the spot for 2008. And of course they have been given the licence for the next 3 years as well. And Hull Kingston Rovers, after that try on half-time and all that's happened with the 3 tries in the second half so far, have got a grip on the match now.
Well, there are very few teams that have run straight through the middle of the Catalan Dragons this year, but too often now in this game of late, Hull Kingston Rovers are exploiting any weakness. It's strong, it's straight, and it's determined, and it's taken Ben Gallier through the first line and Michael Vella through the second line of defence. He's scored, he's relieved. 30 points to 10 this should be, and they are in complete control and loving it.
Yes, they are. And Dobson, 4 from 4, bang in front. This should be 5 from 5. He got 4 tries in the match against his former club Wigan a few weeks ago. He's got 5 goals in the match here, 5 from 5 against another of his former clubs, the Catalan Dragons. And it is definitely Hull Kingston Rovers' match to lose now.
He's a real tradesman, Michael Vella, and pushes through and makes that extra effort more than most forwards in Super League. A really underestimated player, and as you've said, Phil, he's been the player of the year, and rightly so. He works hard both on and off the ball, and we mustn't underestimate the role that the crowd have played here tonight. The atmosphere is electric, and that feeds through to the players.
The ball is flicked back. Gregory Muniz has it for the Catalan Dragons.
Well, it seems a magic gap, doesn't it? 20 points. Teams tend to go for that short kick-off. Catalan have come up with possession. Can they come up with any points?
Well, they've got 3 tackles to do it, and they now have more because they have a penalty here, because the referee shouted held, and Justin Morgan's men would not release him. They're taking it quickly with Guisset. He blew the whistle, referee, made the mark, and that's why Catalan Dragons were able to take that ball quickly. This is a chance for them here with Mogg, and Mogg gets it away. Duport waits at dummy half as Wilson plays it to him. Mogg again, Tuxegas. They've been inventive in attack, Rovers. They now have to be resolute in defence. Carlo with the run. Casey Maguire waits as Carlo gets to his feet, plays the ball. It comes back then to Adam Mogg. Mogg then to Bosk. Bosk to Greenshields. Greenshields ferries it out somehow to Ragan, and the defence comes across in cover. This is Greenshields again. Greenshields to Bosk on the bounce. Mogg with a kick behind the defence. Oh, bounces off the head of Peter Fox. What a mess. And it's 6 to go. It's 6 to go, and there's a chance here, and there's a try begging here, and a try for Vincent Duport.
Time off, what are we doing?
And the referee just has a word with the touch judge. Time off, and what are we doing? Well, the video referee, Richard Silverwood, has got a few decisions to make.
Well, it could take him the weekend, couldn't it, to review this whole play? It's gone from one side of the field to the other. Of course, it's the last tackle. Were there any knock-ons here at all from the Catalan Dragons that would prevent this from being awarded as a try? I can't see it from that angle. Duport seems to ground the ball correctly. He's in the field of play. He's over the try line. It's 4 points and potentially game on here with the Dragons coming with a late charge. He appears to be onside. Everyone's onside. Behind Adam Mogg as the kick goes in.
Nothing there. Now just watch this one here, Phil. As the ball comes free, watch here.
I don't think Tuxegas.
No.
Does he touch it?
I think if he does, it goes backwards
it goes
anyway.
backwards, yes.
You know, it'd been good scramble from Hull KR to deny the try on the far side of the field. There's enough bodies over here. I suppose the bounce of the ball sometime is going to go with your opponents. And it looks as though it's gone in favour of the Dragons here. Kept it alive again. This is a try.
Yes, Richard Silverwood's decision is on its way, and it is a try for Catalan Dragons. And Vincent Duport, the 20-year-old French international, he made his debut as a substitute against England in Toulouse. And he has got a try here that just could ignite a Catalan Dragons comeback.
Well, look at it. This is how hard Hulkingston Rovers have made the Dragons work for this try. Okay, it's a little bit scruffy and scrappy at the end. There's an indication here that Hulkingston Rovers' commitment in defence is that strong that it's going to take something awfully special here for the Dragons. He squeezes in the corner. Big pressure here now on Thomas Bosk. Can he convert this from the sideline?
Well, this was just a few seconds ago, and watch this. That's a fantastic kick from Super League's top goal kicker and leading point scorer Thomas Bosk. It's 30 points to 16, the gap is 14, and there is plenty of time for the men from Perpignan to rescue this game.
What you can't do in situations like this is panic. Hull KR have got enough shirts in the frame, they've got enough dominance in this match to relax and still enjoy the match.
Well, remember, gentlemen, the last time we were here at Craven Park and Wakefield Trinity Wildcats were the visitors. I think I'm right in saying in the last 10 minutes of the match, Hulkingston Rovers conceded no less than 4 tries. So they do have a habit of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. And they've got a quarter of an hour to go here, Catalan Dragons.
There's been nothing more from the Catalan Dragons in the first 65 minutes that indicate they're going to find that again.
There hasn't, but you never say never. Look at this. Here they come. That's a great run from Greenshields. Needed a good tackle from Ben Cockayne. Wants to get on with it quickly, Catalan Dragons, and no wonder. Another good run there. Mogg, it missed him and it bounced behind Dane Carlaw as well. Carlaw taking on Stanley Jean, but the referee has got Hull KR for offside.
Oh, this is almost a back-to-back try here in the dream making now for Catalan. Mogg goes on with it. Fourth tackle penalty. They're just 5 metres from the line.
With Maguire. And it's suddenly Hull Kingston Rovers who look as though they're blowing a bit heavy. As Green Shields takes them on. Tackle is missed. Green Shield gets it wide. Forward to Katabi. Big call. Big call from Ian Smith, but he was perfectly placed. Forward pass. Tries ruled out.
And again, it's a repeat of what the Dragons have done so often here tonight. I know Green Shields has to throw the pass. It's a try-scoring opportunity. But so many tonight have been squandered. This is a further one here. The ball just drifting forward a metre to Katabi. And they haven't quite had the patience needed.
I thought, Phil, when Green Shield made that break previously, he stuck hold of the ball. He decided to take the tackle, play out the tackle count, and showed great patience.
When you're conceding breaks as well, the last thing you want is for your team to give in and roll over and concede another penalty. What we saw from the team is actually Hull KR scrambling and forcing the Catalans to actually make an overplay in the end. They haven't given up yet, and the Catalans, though, it's going to be a grandstand finish, I'm sure.
No, it is, because there are 12 and a half minutes to go, and that's the third tackle, and the Catalan Dragons are hunting the mistake from this Rovers defence, which I was going to say is bound to be tired. It will be tired, but not because it's done all that much defending. It's because it's done quite a bit of supporting the attack, this Rovers defence.
And what we have seen over the last 5-10 minutes is that, you know, the Catalans now have got some decent field position and are actually turning the screw on the Hull KR team, and let's see how they're going to respond with it.
Fella goes down. That's the last tackle. They've only made 28 metres forward. It's with Dobson who have to put the kick in. He has, but it's straight into the arms of Green Shields, and there's plenty of green grass ahead of Clint Green Shields. Fisher led the chase to bring him down. This is Wilson. Fisher again working hard from marker. Casey Maguire to Sebastian Ragan. On halfway, he plays the ball. This is Jerome Guisset. Thought briefly about the offload to Maguire. Lovegrove all over him. Maguire waits dummy half. Here's Bosk. Bosk gives it back to Mogg. Over the top, good hands, it's with Wilson. Wilson looked for Duport, being forced out. Duport came on the inside. Wilson looked for him on the outside, but Fox using great strength to force John Wilson over the line.
Well, Hull KR look as though they've worked too hard to give this one away now. Just over 10 minutes to half-time. They've been through some pain, and they're not going to give up the lead that easily. They're going to have to come up with something a little more spectacular if the Dragons are to score from that position.
I thought John Wilson was going to throw the ball behind his back, but Peter Fox actually held the ball and stuck it to his chest. And one thing in rugby league is you've got to stay on the island. Catalan failed to do that.
Good drive from Peter Fox again. He plays the ball there to Dobson. And the Catalan Dragons defenders move in and push John Steele back a few metres. Good work from Crossman, just hanging on, making a few metres forward. Good run that is from Fisher. And 60 points to 6. Wigan have certainly beaten Hull FC. Wellham, great play from him. Play on, shouts the referee, and he does. That's the last.
10 metres.
Gallia. Up it goes from Dobson's boot. Oh, it's bouncing everywhere. And to the rescue comes Thomas Bosk. He just flicks it over the dead ball line. Goal line dropout coming up. More pressure on the Dragons line here.
Well, when he's provided with a platform, Michael Dobson is perfect with the kicks. He's in a great part of the field. He had sufficient time. And it's a short kick-off, but a short one back from Bosk. Clever play from a skillful player who we haven't really seen perform at his best tonight.
The huge roar that you heard from the Hull Kingston Rovers supporters wasn't for the fact that Rovers had forced the goal line dropout. It was from the fact that The Wigan score was just flashed up on the big screen. They're celebrating the whole defeat as much as they're celebrating what they're seeing here.
Then you're on. 10 metres. Move!
And there's a kick from Bosk. It's good, isn't it? It's clever. It takes great skill and speed to execute that play. And here's Casti on a break.
Important tackle from Michael Vella. Last one here. As Mogg went to hoist the kick, Crossman went to charge it down. They've got a ton of players out wide. Katabi hacks the ball forward. Rovers come up with the possession, courtesy of John Steele. They're trying the Catalan Dragons, but so far Rovers are hanging on.
Well, a great degree of speculation in the play, and it needs to be because they're not in great field position. Their opponent's line isn't broken. They don't have the speed of the play around the ruck area, and it's a lot of hit and hope from them.
Stanley Jean. That's a grapple tackle. Where's the grapple tackle rule gone? Vincent Duport was all over the top of the neck there.
10 metres.
You're right,
The Dragons have worked it. It's about the only way that you can stop Stanley Jean.
I was just going to say that. Stanley Jean's had a fantastic game. Very dangerous player, very powerful player. And you're right, that was a grapple tackle.
Ben Fisher with the kick just to relieve the pressure, and Ben Fisher will try and lead the chase, but the ball runs dead in goal. They'll settle for that, Rovers. They'll ask Catalan Dragons to restart from their 20-metre line, and all their players are still offside. Now they're behind the line, now they can get going again with Wilson.
Well, three scores in 7.5 minutes becomes almost impossible now.
It certainly does, Phil, especially when you look at the guys in the bent over double, trying to get the old oxygen back in the lungs, and you look at the LKR guys, I think they may well have been given a lift from seeing the whole score as well.
Hands out!
Ragan on halfway, struggles to his feet. Bosk, it's been all Catalan Dragons, it seems to me, for the last 5-6 minutes or so, as Mogg takes it forward again, but Rovers are defending resolutely here.
Wait.
Maguire, green shields. Well, all the sixes, the Devil's Own at the JJB Stadium. Quite a response from Wigan for the stinging criticism they've received this week. That's good play again from Ben Cockayne.
10 metres.
What a marvellous turnaround though for the LKR boys. I know that there's been an absolute utter devastation after the defeat against the Black and Whites, and no game last week. I think they've had to have that sour taste in the mouth for a couple of days extra.
Oh, Fox has lost it.
What a great response from them.
It is a great response, but Fox has lost it, and that will give the Dragons hope here as Tuxigas plays the ball to Maguire. Maguire has got the support on his inside, which is Duport, and that's great defence. Held up just short of the line. Maguire though to Mogg. Mogg then back to Thomas Bosk. Big hit from Michael, but offside. Hulkingston Rovers caught offside underneath their own posts.
Wait, I want to get out of the way. 4 feet. Go.
So here they come again, the Catalan Dragons with Mogg, and now with Dane Carlaw.
2 feet. 2 feet, Micaiah. Go.
Maguire. Chan gets the ball away. Bosk gives it to Muniz. Moves it then back to Ragan. Ragan spins, steps out of the challenge. Good job that Gallier was there.
3. Down. 4 feet. Go.
Maguire. Go! The ball has come free. Carlaw, was that a try?
Time off. Just check. Did he lose it?
I think it's Olivia. It goes hard for the line. It's a typical Catalan try. Forward crashing hard to the short pass. And he loses the ball.
Well, was he, or was it stolen by the defender?
Watch the momentum of Michael Jesus' arm. It flings up. Oliver Lima is trying to put that ball down. I believe that
it could be a penalty, this. It won't be a penalty try. It could be a penalty, or has he just simply lost it, Olivier?
I believe that's stripped, Eddie. Watch Michael Jesus there. Ball round the ball. Wrenches his arm.
I don't agree with you. I think he loses possession.
No.
I'd give some reward to the defender. But you, John?
I think there's 2 in the tackle and it's a ball steal. I think he makes a deliberate play for him.
Well, it might have been a penalty try in another season, but it isn't going to be this time, even if it is a penalty deemed by Richard Silverwood. No try. It's a 20-metre restart. You read it right, Phil. We read it wrong.
Well, I guess the same way as a bit of referee, and I think that's all you can do in that situation, isn't it? He has to make a call. But I'm pleased because it was a reward for Hull Kingston Rovers' goal line defence, which in the last 10 minutes of the game was outstanding there. They have a 14-point lead, and yet they worked so hard to deny Catalan from scoring, and had the reward with the ball here now 20 metres out.
I really agree with you, Phil. I think that the Catalans are throwing everything at Hull KR going into the last couple of minutes, and the inside defence, though, they shut the gate defence, the middle people from Hull KR has been absolutely fantastic.
There's the news from the JJB Stadium that's greeted with delight here as Vela works the ball forward again. But if they hang on, and it looks like they will now, Hull Kingston Rovers, it has been a good weekend for them. But Michael Ezu drops the ball. Hang on. Here's Elimar again.
0. Move, Reese. Hold.
4 minutes remaining. 14 points. The difference. Chan.
That's 1.
Two coaches will be coming out to talk to us, hopefully, in Super League extra time that follows via the red button. And it's Barry and John Sharp who'll be with me in the studio for that.
10 metres.
Once this game is over, press the red button and you can see all the after-match reaction.
Here. 4 feet, 4 feet.
Casey Maguire waits as Alex Chan plays the ball to him. Adam Mogg. Wide it goes to Duport again, and Vincent Duport. He's over the line, is he? He is, but he's held up.
Held up, 4.
And the referee will give them the last tackle 10 metres away from their goal line.
Great positioning from the referee, wasn't it? Just a metre in front of where he needed the ball. The man has to go back now to the 10-metre line to play the ball.
That's 4.
But again, it's almost as though Hull KR is just 2 points ahead. The pride with which they're defending this line. Mogg's lost possession there.
He has tried to get the ball away. It's a knock-on. And it looks like now they are on their way to their second successive defeat in Super League for the first time since March.
The commitment from the Hull KR players is outstanding. They denied a try, and Adam Mogg with inside and outside support just couldn't get that ball away, and in fact they forced the error. And Adam Mogg's body language there tells you everything. Get me out of here.
I think what a great response as well with the week of the accusations and the news stories about Paul Cook. I think the players have been very focused in what they've had to do and gone out and made a statement.
And sometimes news like that and disruptions like that galvanise a team, don't they?
Certainly do, and you can see the only way you can answer some of the things that's been said is by going out on the field. And certainly we've seen tonight Dobson have a great game. His kicking game's been fantastic and had an enormous part in the field position that Hull KR has had at the moment.
Here's Michael Ezu. 2 minutes to a great win for Hull Kingston Rovers against the team sitting third in the table, who arrived here knowing that they would secure fourth place at worst if they won, the Catalan Dragons. But it's the Hull Kingston Rovers enthusiasm that has really taken the wind out of the Frenchmen's sails.
And it's a remarkable effort without one of their on-field leaders. You know, Clint Newton plays back row and does some things that we don't always notice. But I'll tell you what, he's been so important. He's the tough guy really for Hull KR. And without him tonight, it meant that Stanley Jean had to be at his very best. In the first half, he was the only player on the field able to make any inroads or dents in the Catalan defence. And I think that lifted and added confidence to the other Rovers players.
So Catalan Dragons enter the final minute of this match, 14 points adrift. Maguire, back it goes to Bosch, up the middle they come again.
2. Stand Ben.
Good tackle by Gallier on Gregory Muniz. Here is Thomas Bosch again. Great defence again from Rovers. Bosch pass is not the best to Sagas, lost it but backwards. Here is Wilson. Wilson to Duport, who's looked dangerous since he's come on. Duport to Bosch. Bosch gets it on to Maguire. Maguire gives it into the centre to Carlaw. And that's great scrambling defence again from Rovers. Carlaw and Chan. And Chan, the ball goes to ground.
Went back.
Carlo flicks it up. Muniz still. Down he'll go on the tackle. Will they have time to play the ball? No, they won't. It's all over. And Hull Kingston Rovers have won a famous victory against Catalan Dragons, 30 points to 16. In the previous matches between these two sides, the touring team has generally gone home with the points, but not tonight. Michael Vella's try saw to it that it was going to be Hull Kingston Rovers' night. And Stanley Jean has run his blood to water for only Rovers' second win in 8 Super League matches. This ground at Craven Park, where they couldn't win last year, they've only lost 3 times this year in Super League, and they lost narrowly to St Helens in the Challenge Cup as well. They've taken on all comers here, Barry, and apart from 3 times, they've sent them home beaten.
You mentioned Sean McRae, and one of his famous phrases, another famous phrase is defence wins games. And Hull KR's commitment to the defence, whether they've been on their own line or they've been in the kick chase, has been superb. And I feel that, along with Stanley Jean's enthusiasm, has been the difference between those two sides.
Well, they're giving them a standing ovation at Craven Park. The man of the match, by the way, is Stanley Jean. But first up, I think we're going to hear from Ben Cockayne. He's talking to Bill.
Ben, congratulations on a much-needed win, because you went into that game under a bit of pressure, didn't you?
Yeah, a lot of pressure. We had a big defeat against Hull FC the other week, which were disappointing, obviously. And we knew we had to turn up today and do a job. I thought we trained hard all week, really, and I thought we put into practice what we've trained, so we deserved it, and these lot deserve it as well, because we put them through a bit of crap this year, but they really deserve it. So.
Well, yes. Probably not the right way to express it, but you haven't been at your best form in recent weeks, have you?
No, we've not. That's fair to say. I mean, we've been up and down all year, to be fair. We've beat some bigger teams, we've beat some not so big teams. But like I say, I thought today we came out and put a massive performance in and dug deep all game and just turned them over. A good Catalan side as well. And
do you think a playoff? Well, obviously a playoff place is still a very real possibility.
It is a possibility, and we're really going to dig deep now and push hard for these last few games of the season. We know it's realistic to make top 6, so we just, like I say, we're going to work hard and do our best to get there.
Thanks very much for talking to us.
Well, mate.
Man of the match. Oh yes. Oh, let's move on to the man of the match, Stanley Jean. Stanley, congratulations. You really did earn that tonight. You were man inspired. What was behind that?
You know, as I said, people are talking about how old am I. I just put a play on the field and just prove them wrong. It's like an old wine that we keep every year. It gets better. It's just so frustrating that we play so well against Wigan and then play absolutely no good against Hull FC, and then now we just came up and turned out to be this side, I think the most improved side this year in Super League. But I just question myself why we play well one week and then come and not perform and back it up. But as you said, 4 more games to go, and if we play like that, we'll be up there.
It's been a good week for you in the PNG squad as well for the World Cup. How do you fancy your 3rd World Cup appearance?
As I said, in '95, I was back in the settlement up in the jungle, couldn't speak a word of English, and then 2 World Cup pass, and now it's my 3rd World Cup. I rang Adrian Lam yesterday, and I said to him that I'm gonna retire from Test footy, and what a way to finish. We underdogs, but I always like the underdog tag, so I bring it on.
Stanley, well done on your man of the match performance tonight.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Well, he'll cause trouble for everybody in the World Cup with Stanley Jean, and England beware. It's Hull Kingston Rovers 30, Catalan Dragons 16 though here, but Catalan Dragons, they have their next 3 games at home.